There's some birds outside, so. Do you want to stay here? Oh, you do not want to stay here. All right. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Evan. I created this channel to talk to you about all things traveling and travel nursing and all my experiences in between them, to give you guys some tips and tricks on things that I wish I'd known and things that I'm gonna apply for future travel endeavors. Today, I want to talk to you guys about my first travel experience. Our first travel experience was in Brunswick, Georgia. It is a beautiful place. I'm so glad it was our first experience. The first thing we did, leaving our permanent job and going into this assignment, was reach out to one agency, maybe 2 months out from what we wanted our start date to be. And in retrospect, that was too far out, but maybe a month out is a good time frame. A month to 3 weeks out from your planned start date is a good time to reach out to an agency. Bird. No, just being a turd. Firstly, is this a place you want to go to for the views? Is this a place you want to go to for the pay? We thought the idea of the East Coast on a beach sounds very different from middle of Texas, so why not start there? So we got our interview call from Georgia. This is not nearly as formal as your permanent position interview. So it was about, I don't know, 3 minutes long, and basically they're like, okay, great, we'll see you in February. And we're like, that's it? You trust me? That facility then sends a contract over to your recruiter, and that recruiter acts as a third party and multiple other people within that agency. We signed our contracts and packed all of our stuff up. So the things that your recruiter will ask you to submit is your application. It will include your resume. Make sure your resumes are updated before reaching out to recruiters. A skills checklist, usually. If you have multiple specialties, you'll fill out multiple skills checklists. They ask for proof of residency so that they know where your home base is. A home base is where you reside primarily. As a traveler, this can sometimes get kind of tricky. Some people use their parents' home, which is what we used in our circumstance. We put our name on a water bill and made a lease, like as if we were renting a bedroom from their home, if that makes sense. So we had physical proof that we lived there, that we had physical proof that we were paying them rent. So when it comes time to paying your taxes, if the IRS looks into it, it's backed up. A driver's license in that state. If you have any bank statements, if you have car registration, a mailing address, something that shows that you are physically living there, so that whenever you take your travel assignment and they give you a housing stipend that's tax-free. I told you the housing stipend's tax-free. That leads into another thing I want to talk to you about, is finding your own housing. We were a part of like Facebook groups from experienced travelers saying, check out these places to find fully furnished homes, check out these places that are nice on rent, these places that are good areas. We decided we would find our own housing so that we could pocket the remainder of our housing stipend. And a housing stipend from your third-party agency is kind of like a weekly or bi-weekly allowance for how much they think that you need for how much they think your rent's gonna cost in that area. I will warn you that if you find housing for your 13-week assignment, it will be more than likely prorated. It's not going to be as simple. So the rule of thumb was 1 week's worth of income was the entire month's worth of rent. But there was a traveler we met at the hospital, at the facility that we were hired at, who did not take the housing stipend and had the agency find housing for her that was fully furnished, but she didn't get that amount that was over the cost of her monthly rent, and she got the exact same apartment that we did. I would just encourage you to look at the numbers and try and see how you can best maximize your profit from this assignment. So another thing we learned, arrive sooner than later, but I would say we arrived maybe a week sooner than we needed to. You really only need to be there maybe like 3 days before your start date, which is just an orientation day anyways. But arriving 3 days earlier allows you to settle in, go get groceries and necessities that you may have forgotten or just need to get. Scope out the place. And lastly, we like to go to our hospitals or our assignments before our start date, figure out parking, read the instructions that our recruiter sent us thoroughly check out where you need to park, what time you need to be there, what room you're in. If the hospital's even open and allowing you to go into the hospital before your start date, try and find that room, because I can guarantee you at 7 a.m. on a Monday when you're flustered on your first day, you can't find that room. It's just gonna piss you off for the rest of the week. Throughout this first experience in Georgia, I would say we explored so much. We went up and down the coast of Georgia. We went down the coast of Florida. We only worked 3 12s a week. We had 4 days, and likely we tried to schedule if they allowed us to, our 3 days in a row. And the 4 days off, we just hightailed to the next place we could. We went to the beach almost every single day. We went down to Jacksonville a lot. We got to see a John Mulaney show. We got to go to Savannah on St. Patrick's Day, which was quite the experience, considering that they're like the second most celebratory St. Patty's Day people in the US. Like, everyone is drunk on the streets. It was quite the experience. I'm so glad we did it. For our anniversary, we took a coastal tour on St. Simon's Island to just go fishing, and it was fun. It was so much fun. I'm not gonna lie, the days we came back to work, some of them absolutely sucked. They sucked booty cheeks so badly. I'll try and insert a clip here of this. Key example of how much sometimes it sucked. So the way that they assigned us, it was off of like an Excel sheet that they'd post at 6 a.m. the morning of the shift, and it would have all the travelers' names, and then it would have their floor assignments. And in this hospital, there were 2 towers, and in each tower there was like 6 floors each, but then there was like basement in one of the towers. You just never knew which floor you were going to get thrown on. It could be a step down unit, it could be a telemetry unit, a general med surg floor, a stroke unit, a post-op unit, some ER overflow, anything that fell within like our checklist of things that we could complete nurse-wise, they would use us. So just be ready for anything. Sometimes you can be halfway through your shift and they say, hey, we have the staffing now on our unit. You're needed on a different floor. Often our patient ratios were like 6 to 1. It didn't mean that you ended your shift with all 6 patients. Discharged 3 of them, admitted 3 of them to fill them in again. You could have discharged 1 of them died, and now you get 4 more. Like it was insane. It was absolutely insane. So you can do anything 13 weeks. You can do anything for 13 weeks. Even after that first travel assignment, which usually scares people off, it was amazing to see how much more resourceful I'd become as a nurse. Just utilizing every single thing that I had at my fingertips instead of freaking out and staying quiet. Holy crap, I feel like I could do anything now. I can take any patient load, I can do this, I can do that. It just is such like a weird confidence booster. You let things roll off that never rolled off before. I also got to channel my most optimal amount of minimalism. I thought I was pretty minimalist before. Living out of like a suitcase and a tote is like perfect for one person. You do not need more than that. And I can guarantee you're gonna leave with more crap than you came with. Lastly, it showed me how adaptable I am in certain situations, more than likely tougher situations than I'd been in before. I learned that even though I don't know where every single thing is in my environment, I have my bearings, I have my foundation. I know my charge nurse's number, I know the number to call if I need to call a code, and I know where the crash cart is. And I also know where the supply room is, and that it is not soundproof, no matter how quiet you think you're screaming or crying. So that was just my first travel nursing experience. I am so glad that it was in Brunswick, Georgia. It was beautiful and amazing, and I don't miss the floor whatsoever, but I'm just so glad I got to experience it. And I would say it 100% turned me into a better nurse and a better human. So if the things that I've talked about today have been something you're interested in, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Leave me a comment. Let me know what your experiences are, things that you wish you'd known when you were going into travel nursing for your first assignment. Are there things that I can explain further? My name on Instagram is Operation Evan. I post on there quite frequently. If you have any questions or want to reach out to me, you can find me there. I will see you guys next week. Bye.